様こんばんは。SIUK 東京オフィスの加藤と申します。本日はランカスター大学のウェビナーにご参加いただきまして誠にありがとうございます。本日はランカスター大学の奥佐さんと、綾子さんをお招きして、ランカスター大学のご紹介と言語学等のご説明いただきます。最後に質問時間も設けておりますので、もしご質問等ございましたらチャットにご記入いただけますと幸いでございます。なお、本日は YouTube にてライブストリーミングを行っておりますため、表示名はこちらで変更させていただいております。あらかじめご了承くださいませ。それでは早速始めさせていただきます。Okay, so Oksana, could you stop, please?
Okay, good afternoon and good evening, everybody. I think it is 6 o'clock in the afternoon in your time. So welcome to this webinar. My name is Oksana Fitska, and I am a senior lecturer in TESOL, and I am also a chair of postgraduate taught programs at the Department of Linguistics and English Language here at Lancaster University. In this webinar, we will tell you about our university. We will tell you a little bit more about our department. You will have an opportunity to meet the head of our department, who is sitting right next to me, Professor Johnston Culpepper. And we will tell you then about our programs, about our research centers, about support available to our students. You will have an opportunity to meet one of our alumni students from Japan, Ayaka. Maybe Ayaka, you can wave your hand so students can see you. There she is, so our happy graduate. And we'll tell you what requirements we have for you to apply to us. And finally, at the end, you will have an opportunity to ask us questions. So now my colleague, Jonathan, who I've just introduced, is going to tell you a little bit more about our university and about our department.
Hello, everybody. So first of all, university. And perhaps the obvious question to ask is, where are we? As you can see from the map, on a north-south sort of latitude, you can see we're in the center of the UK, more or less, very close to Manchester, which is an international airport there. So it's ideally situated in many ways. It's a campus university. It's a multi-campus university because it has other campuses in other countries, but the main one is in Lancaster, and you can see a picture of it here. It's set amongst the countryside. At the top of the photo, there is the world-renowned Lake District. You can almost see it there. It's a sort of medium-ish size university. It does the full suite of programs, bachelor's, master's, PhDs. It's split between undergraduate and postgraduate, as you can see, 70-30%. And I would say one key thing about it is it's a very safe place to stay and study at, and it's a great place to socialize with people, etc., etc. I'll show you some more photographs of the campus. It's as you can see, it looks very green and full of wildlife because it is. The campus is, there's a sort of campus joke that it has its own ducks. You can see in the center there are 3 ducklings and there are indeed sets of ducks that rather like the Lancaster University campus. But these are not photoshopped or anything. These are real photographs of the kind of environment that the campus is set in. But it's full of facilities as well. I mean, it'll have everything you can possibly need. It has a huge sports center with a 25-meter swimming pool, a wonderful climbing wall, if you like that kind of thing. It's got a post office, supermarket, restaurants, bars, health center, dentist, pharmacy, theater, cinema, art gallery, actually a large hall where we have concerts and music and so forth. So all sorts of things. You could possibly, anything you possibly want, it's there on campus already, within easy walking distance. And that's just on campus, because obviously you can go to the Lancaster city centre, you can go and visit Manchester very easily, etc., if you want more. On campus accommodation, if I just show you the photographs, you can see they're very well equipped. You can have self catering, so there'll be cooking facilities. If you look bottom right, you can see There are facilities there where you can do cooking, etc. But you don't need to, because if you decide you don't want to cook and you want to eat in restaurants, etc., you can do that too. Lancaster is, generally speaking, in the UK, a very low cost area, much cheaper than London, for example. And again, I would emphasize that it's a relatively safe and secure environment. The department, let me say a few words about that. It's one of the largest departments in the UK. These are most of the members of staff. We probably wouldn't win any awards for beauty, but certainly there are many of us. 37 members of academic staff, and in fact it's going to increase soon to more like 40. We have BA students, but we are notable for having a large number of postgraduate students. According to recent data, we have more PhD students, for example, than any other linguistics department in the UK, and we have one of the largest cohorts of MA students. So as a postgraduate community, it's huge, it's vibrant, and things are happening, if you like. What are we known for? Well, I would say over the last 40 or so years, what we're known for is doing linguistics that is creative, cutting edge stuff, and it's empirically based. That's a big thing. Theoretical as well, so it's applying theory to data and researching. When we say here, applied research here, so yes, it's applied in the sense of involving teaching, learning, etc., but also applications of linguistics theory to real world problems. In talks like these, we always mention league tables, but I think we can do it without any modesty, because we believe we are as good as the league table positions suggest. In the Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide, we are second in the UK for linguistics. In the fairly recent government research assessment exercise, we came second for overall research quality. And in the very recent, this is about a month or two ago, very recent QS World University rankings, we came 10th in the world for linguistics. If we look more closely at what is available to you, if you came to the department, well, you can see the list in the middle there, and those are our main research groups. It's not quite all of them, but these are the main ones. And you can see it covers a vast range of things, anything from literacy at the top there, corpus research, language testing research groups, second language learning and teaching, etc., all sorts of things. If you look to the left, you can see some photos of our labs. We have more labs than this, actually, but these are just some of them. The top one is the phonetics lab, and there's a picture on a computer. This is actually an ultrasound image, and they have this device. It's used for pregnant women as well, but it's used you put it on the throat, and you can see how people are articulating sounds. The photo in the middle, the Perception and Learning Lab, that's an EEG cap on there to detect brain waves. And so you can study brain patterns when people either speak or read, etc., or hear sounds and so forth. And finally, there's the eye tracking lab at the bottom. And this tracks where your eye is looking when you read text. We also have a child lab, and we have a huge corpus linguistics research facilities as well. And of course, these would be opportunities for you. You can join, you not only do the modules if you come here, but you can join these research groups and engage in those communities and their talks and so forth. Our research and teaching. Let me say a few words about that. I've already mentioned that we like to apply linguistic theory to real world issues in terms of research. But let's start with teaching. In terms of teaching, we are internationally recognized not just for our research, but for our teaching too. Various members of staff have won national prizes for the quality of their teaching. And we write textbooks that are used not just in the UK, but throughout the world. Two of our newest ones are there. You can see Introducing Linguistics and another one, Researching Discourse. These are both designed for students and written by members of this department. I'll go to the boxes at the bottom, and this is to illustrate some of our research. These are just some of the topics. I mean, there are lots and lots of things happening in the department, but let me take some examples of some of the work that we do. One of my colleagues, Judith Kormosh, has pioneered the whole business of dyslexia and language learning. And really, she is the pioneer for that. She's devised materials and training courses that have been used by over 50,000 students and teachers in many countries. I have another colleague, Elena Samina, who does research on health and communication in health settings. And in particular, she's interested in metaphor and how people in medical situations talk about cancer, talk about things like, are they battling with the cancer, or is it a journey they're going through? These are metaphors for talking about disease. And this work has been adopted in a number of hospitals throughout the world. We also have a growing area, and that is forensic linguistics. If you haven't heard of forensic linguistics, basically it's bringing together law and criminology and linguistics. It's using linguistics to help solve crime, essentially. So, for example, people approach the department and say, we have a recording, where does the speaker probably come from? Or is the speaker in this recording the same as the speaker in this recording, or is it the same person? And we work on that. In fact, we actually have a small business situated in the department and affiliated to the department. And this is an area that we're growing currently. Okay.
Okay, so over to me. I'm now going to tell you a little bit more about our master's programs, because I suppose you might have already looked on our website. So here is some more information for you. So we offer 4 master's programs that are delivered on campus. So you will have to travel to the UK, which I'm sure you're very excited about. So the programs are called Masters in Applied Linguistics and TESOL. TESOL stands for Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. I believe a lot of you, or many of you, are interested in that program, so I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a minute. The other program is called Language and Linguistics. So a lot of things that Jonathan just talked about, they are the type of things that we teach in that program. The third program is Discourse Studies, and the last one is Intercultural Communication. All these 4 programs follow the same pattern, and I'm going to show you how we are teaching things throughout the year and how the year is arranged. So there are 3 terms at Lancaster University throughout the year. Term 1 lasts from October to December. Then we have a little break for Christmas. Then it's second term, January to March. Then it's an Easter break for us. And then April and June is the 3rd term. So in the first 2 terms, from October to March, basically, you will be studying 6 modules or 6 courses. After you have done all your taught part of the degree, you will start to work on your dissertation, which is an independent research project, which is supervised by a member of academic staff in the department. And you will work on your dissertation during term 3 and all the way to the mid of August, when you will be submitting your projects. So students usually feel quite worried about their dissertations, about their research. So we are providing support to our students on dissertation topics, on choices of research methods and things like that, way before students start to work on their dissertations. So at the beginning of term 2, just after winter holidays, we start to talk to our students and to encourage our students to think about research. So we offer such things as dissertation bazaar, when students are able to come to the room and talk to the members of staff about the research ideas that they have. Then we ask students to submit their dissertation proposals. And then at the beginning of term 3, which is actually at this time now, our current cohort of students are finally engaging with and starting their dissertations. As students work on their dissertations, each student has got a member of staff allocated to them, but also there will be opportunities for students to work on their chapters, on their readings during the dissertation workshops and writing retreat sessions. And also, if you do choose to come to us, the very first thing that will happen to you, even before you start to study with us, will be a welcome week or introduction week, which is the last week of September and the week before your studies with us start, which is an opportunity for you to learn about the campus, to meet members of academic staff, to meet other students on your cohort. So basically to settle into the studies at Lancaster University. So here is the 4 MA programs that I have already mentioned to you. You can study them either full-time, which will take you 1 year, or you can study them part-time with us, which will take you 2 years. So the very first program on my list is MA in Applied Linguistics and TESOL. This program is designed to equip you with the theoretical and practical skills and knowledge in linguistics, but it is also structured and designed to develop your language teaching skills. However, you don't have to become a language teacher at the end of this degree. But if you're interested in sort of bringing together the 2 areas of linguistics or theory, how we learn about languages, how we learn languages, how do we know how to teach languages, and then some practical skills in teaching itself, then this degree is good for you. So this degree has got 5 core or compulsory modules, because in fact you are taking a double degree with us, so linguistics, applied linguistics and TESOL, and then there are some optional modules, so you will have some choice from the range of modules that we offer, and I'll show you what they are a bit later. And at the end you will write a dissertation, which is 12,500 words in length. So now I'm going to show you an example of the teaching that is happening on this module, on this program. So and the module that I'm referring to is called Principles of Language Teaching. So I'm going to show you a text, and I would like you to read this text, please. Okay, so I hope you succeeded in that exercise. So what this text suggests is that we don't read individual letters in the words, but we read words as a whole. And that happens because we predict and construct meaning of the upcoming text by fitting the word's meaning into its general visual shape. So when the meaning that we are thinking the word has, that we are predicting next in the text, when it fits into the general visual shape of the word, then we believe that we have read the word, and then we comprehend the text. In a similar way, people do in the character-based languages like Japanese or Chinese. So people do not necessarily read individual strokes in the characters, but they read characters as a whole. So another way in which we construct meaning is we do it by drawing on different types of knowledge. As you can see on this diagram, there are different types of knowledge, and they are grouped into 2 groups. One is systemic knowledge, which is knowledge about language, so knowledge about the letters, sounds, syllables, words, phrases, clauses of the language. So obviously, if you don't speak the language, you don't understand the language, you can't read the text, but if you have that knowledge about the language, then you will be able to. And the second type of knowledge is schematic knowledge. So here we're talking about these types of knowledge, such types of knowledge as sociocultural knowledge, genre knowledge, topic knowledge, general world knowledge, and they help us to construct meaning and to read and understand the text. So here is another little experiment for you. I would like you to read the text that I'm going to show you, and I would like you to read it quickly. Have you noticed the mistake? There was one mistake in this text. Could you put your ideas into the chat for me, please? If you've noticed the mistake, please use the chat option to put them in there. I assume that students can enter things in the chat. I can see that we've already got a question about supervisors in the chat. We'll answer that at the end of the presentation. That's okay. So anybody spotted a mistake in the text, or did I show it too quickly? Or maybe you're just feeling shy, which is okay as well. So let me show you the text, and then you can see if you were right. Okay, so the mistake in the text was the word house instead of horse. So it should have been saying until its galloping horse was exhausted, but it said until its galloping house was exhausted. If you didn't notice this mistake, that means that you're actually a good reader. That means that you have drawn on your schematic knowledge, on your general world knowledge, that in fact, you know, it's not houses, but horses that can gallop. So, and you've just inserted that meaning in the upcoming text, because this is how you've been constructing it. So what this tells us as language teachers and language educators is that when we work with reading and teaching our students to read in the second language, actually the same practice applies to the first language, it is always helpful for us to provide them with additional clues and additional devices to help them read and comprehend text better. So you can give them some additional sort of linguistic, visual and contextual clues prior to asking them to read the text, and that will enhance the levels of their comprehension of the text. So let's move on to the next degree, which is MA in Language and Linguistics. This degree is designed in such a way so that it lets you to either focus on a particular area of linguistics that you are interested in, or it lets you to pick and choose different sub areas from language and linguistics, and therefore have a wide range of sort of expertise in different aspects of linguistics. So in this degree, you will study theoretical and applied linguistics, but the proportion of the number of modules that will constitute either of them is up to you to decide. So that's why there are only 2 core modules on this program. One of them is research methods module, because you will need to write a dissertation and you need to know how to do it and how to do research. So, but the rest of the modules is up to you to choose. So here is the examples of clusters in which students have taken modules in the past for this program. So if you're interested in language and cognition, for example, you can take modules in cognitive linguistics, second language acquisition, experimental approaches to language and cognition. If you're interested in language and use, then you can study corpus linguistics, intercultural communication, pragmatics, forensic linguistics with us. Or if you say, I actually like a couple of modules from each of these clusters, you can do that as well. So you can choose and pick and choose what you want for this degree with us. So now Jonathan is going to give you another little taster session of the types of teaching that we do on this program.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the area of language and cognition. This is a particular module that you could take, but it's obviously a research area, and it's one that our colleague Panos Athanasopoulos has been working on for some time. And in fact, I'm going to be illustrating this particular area with some of his research. Some of you may have heard of the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, but it's basically the idea that the way we speak is actually, and the language we use reflects our thought, and the two are linked in some particular way. And that becomes very clear when we think about how we talk about time. What Panos has observed, there is a difference according to the language you speak. So if you speak English or Swedish, for example, you tend to talk about time, the duration, how long something is, in terms of length. So how long, they waited long for, or long time for the speaker would start shortly. Long, short is distance. If, however, you speak a language like Greek or Spanish, the issue is not distance. You express time, the duration of time, in terms of quantity. So you would say something like, they waited much for the speaker, or the speaker will start within little. This is not English. You could not say these in English, but they would work in Greek or in Spanish. That is how they express time. It's to do with quantity. So some languages are distance and some are quantity. And that's how you perceive of time. You might want to think about your own language and what you would say. Would you say something like, the night becomes bigger and the day becomes smaller? You could not do that in English. But in English, you would say the night becomes longer and the day becomes shorter. So is it quantity or is it time? That's something you can think about. Let's have a little experiment. And I'll hopefully put the answers in the chat. It's a very simple thing. And what you need to do is to put A or B in the chat. I'm going to show you two containers filling up. And the question is, which container takes longer to fill up, A or B? If you've an idea, put A or B in the chat. Great, thank you. Bit of a mix. Okay, let's try another one. Which line takes longer to grow, A or B? Here's A. And here's B. Yeah, there's a clearer consensus on A for the second one. That's probably because I did them closer together. It was easier for you. I was a bit slow on the first one. Okay, so what does this all mean? The containers filled up and the lines grew the same. There was actually no difference. But your perception of how long they take tends to depend on the language you speak. So if you speak a distance language like English, you will think that the longer lines have a longer duration, take more time. If you're a speaker of a quantity language like Greek, you will think that the fuller container takes more time to fill. So that was the conclusion. Panos did this in an experimental situation, and that's what he discovered. So although in reality they take the same amount of time, your perception of them is determined by the language you speak. That affects your thinking, your perception. And that's the kind of thing that language and cognition is all about. Okay.
Great. So we're back to talking about our remaining two master's programs that we offer on campus, which are Discourse Studies and Intercultural Communication. So our main program in Discourse Studies is a program that will allow you to develop skills in discourse analysis, drawing on a range of methodological sources, and you will be able to apply these skills for analyzing a range of spoken and written data. So discourse analysis program focuses on analysis of discourse data of texts. So there are 5 core modules on this program. It is quite a specialized program, so we have to equip you with the knowledge that you need to become an expert in discourse studies. So there are also several optional modules and the dissertation. And the last program is MA in Intercultural Communication. This program draws on both linguistic and social theory, and it will deepen your understanding of communication across cultures, and it will also develop your expertise in analyzing and training other people in delivering effective communication in multicultural settings. So here is the range of optional modules if you want. So for some programs, they are core modules, for some programs, they are optional modules, but here is a range of the modules that you will be able to choose from for optional components of your programs if you come to study with us. As you can see, the range is very broad, and there is something for to everyone's taste. So I just also wanted to mention briefly that if you're interested in TESOL, so teaching English to speakers of other languages, in addition to the programs that I've just talked about, MA in Applied Linguistics and TESOL, which is offered on campus, we also offer MA programs that have TESOL component that are delivered by distance learning, which means that you won't need to travel to the UK. You can stay in Japan and just do the program with us entirely online over a period of 2 years, because this is part-time program. So for example, you can teach in schools already and at the same time advance your knowledge about teaching methods and principles, doing your master's part-time. So these programs, as I said, have TESOL component. That is because there is another component as well to them, which is not non-TESOL component. Okay, so we have got MA in TESOL with corpus linguistics, but corpus linguistics tools will be linked to language teaching, so they are connected. Okay, so this is one program that helps you to develop your language teaching skills, but also will train you. This program will train you in application of corpora for a variety of areas in language teaching. So, and the other program is called MA in TESOL with language testing, because as a language teacher, you are also a language tester, because you have to assess your learners. So this program combines and advances, sort of takes you to the next level of understanding of how language testing works to inform your teaching practice. So for the MA in TESOL with corpus linguistics, you don't need to have any teaching experience. For the MA in TESOL with language testing, you need to have at least 1 year of teaching or testing experience. And for the MA in applied linguistics with TESOL, which is on campus when you travel to us, you don't need to have any teaching experience. So quite a wide range of things to choose from for you. So feel free to join us for the webinars for these programs, which will now happen in June. There are 2 webinars upcoming. 2 webinars upcoming. No, sorry, 1 webinar upcoming that will tell you where my colleagues, not me, but my colleagues who are teaching on this program, who are convening this program, will tell you more about this program. So to register for that webinar, if you're interested, please go to our departmental webpage and you will be able to find the registration link for the webinar there. So let's come back to the teaching, on our programs here at Lancaster. We want you to do well. So we offer our students a module, which is a non-assessed module, which is called Postgraduate Academic Study Skills. This module helps you to advance your skills and competencies in studying well and doing well in academic context. So in this module, we will have an opportunity to develop your academic reading, writing, note-taking, and referencing skills, which are really important. Particularly referencing skills are important, note-taking skills are important for lectures as well. Develop your critical thinking skills and reflective practice skills. We will help you to plan, organize, and develop presentations so that they are coherent and they are nice to listen to. And we will help you to understand assessment briefs for your modules so that you really understand what you need to do and what we're expecting of you. So there are also other opportunities in addition to just attending modules with us, just doing a kind of standard set of teaching and learning with us. We offer our students something that is called collaborative study space. Collaborative study space is a friendly environment, friendly, informal learning environment for our students, where on a weekly basis, students can get together and work on their assignments, on their upcoming tasks, on their readings, on anything related to your studies that you would like to do, rather than alone being sat in your room with your friends and talk about your learning. And these collaborative study space sessions, they are optional to attend, and you can come and leave at any time that you like, and can come as often as you want to. Then we have research centers that Jonathan has already, research centers and groups. Jonathan has already mentioned them to you. We have got postgraduate conferences, which are a fantastic opportunity to either hear what our last year's sort of outgoing master students have done in terms of their research, and pick up a couple of useful tips from them about how to do research. Or you, if you're really pleased with your own master's dissertation, at the end of it, you can present your own work, and that gives you an opportunity to share your work with others, and also to develop your skills in presenting your research and talking about your research. Particularly useful experience to have if you're thinking of pursuing PhD studies beyond your master's degree. We also offer our students an opportunity to study abroad during their dissertation period, which I understand. You travel to the UK, and that is already study abroad for you, but you can also, for a part of your studies with us, you can go to our partner university in Germany. And I mean, this is a competitive process, but we have got a good number of places there. So our students could go and work on their dissertations from another university, while still being supervised by a member of academic staff at Lancaster University, and experience another educational setting and learning in the context of another educational setting. And there are a few other global opportunities and experiences for our students, which we will tell you about if you come to us in September. So here are some of the things that our students do with us. As I said, it's not all about learning, it's not all about studying, it's also about socializing and making friends and learning about different cultures. So in our department, we have various social events. One of them is a Christmas celebration in winter. The next one is the Chinese New Year celebration in also sort of in February, but it's at the beginning of the second term. The next one is actually upcoming next week, which is Eid celebration. I haven't got pictures yet, but they will be here next year. So and we also take our students to the Lake District, which is the national park of Lancashire, which is absolutely picturesque and beautiful, and we take our students there every year in the middle of term 3, which is around like first months of summer. So here is an example of career opportunities if you were wondering what career options become open and available to you if you take master's programs with us. So here is some of the selection of the career options that you can pursue depending on which MA you've taken with us. This is not sort of a comprehensive list, and it doesn't mean that you can't pursue career in advertising and marketing, for example. If you haven't done a MA in intercultural communication, you can, but it most closely probably equips you with the range of skills that you would need to do well in that career. So we do help our students with their career options. We offer our students a session in the middle of week 6 of the first term. So when you come to us, when you settle down, when you get a hang of your lectures and seminars and making sure that everything goes smoothly, we will invite an expert in careers advisor from our central division of the university, and that person will talk to you about career options specifically tailored to the degree programs that you are taking with us, and you will be able to answer questions, you'll be able to answer your questions, and you will be able to then pursue sort of a one-to-one individual sort of support with our career people. So now an exciting part for you because now Ayako, our student, is going to talk to you in Japanese, so you can relax now, sit back and relax. And Ayako is going to tell you about her experiences of studying with us. So over to you, Ayako.
Okay, thank you, Oksana. はい、皆さん、こんにちは。本日はお忙しい中、ウェビナーにご参加いただきまして誠にありがとうございます。2021年10月から2022年の8月まで MA in Applied Linguistics and TESOL のコースに在籍していました相沢彩子と申します。スライドの内容に入る前に少しだけ私についてお話しさせていただきます。2021年の3月に学部を卒業した後、プリセッショナルコースは受けずに10月から MA コースを開始しました。学部では英語学や第二言語習得を専攻していたため、言語学自体には触れたことはありました。ですが、留学を経験したことはなく、ずっと実家暮らしだったため、今回が初めての一人暮らしで、遠山や不安もたくさんありましたが、在学中は50週間、学内の寮で過ごして、1年間特に大きなトラブルなく帰国することができました。それではスライドの内容に入っていきます。なぜランカスター大学、この学部、そして特定の MA コースを選んだかについてですが、大きく2つ理由があります。1つ目は、ランカスターは言語学が非常に強く、多くの著名な教員が揃っているからです。卒論のために読んでいた論文でも、ランカスターの教員や卒業生が書かれたものがとても多く、著名な先生方の授業を受けて、指導の下で論文を執筆したいと思うようになりました。2つ目は、理論と実践をつなぎ合わせるような内容の授業が多いからです。私自身が修士課程修了後、研究者になるのか、英語教員になるのかを迷っていたため、どちらを選んだとしても、その道の基盤ができている状態で修士課程を終えたいと考えていました。Applied Linguistics and TESOL のコースでは、第二言語習得や言語テストといった理論と実践両方を扱う授業が必修として課されているため、この学部のどの MA コースに進学しても、このようなコースが履修人数不足で開講されないという不安がないのも私にとって大きなメリットでした。続いて、キャンパス内の好きな場所についてですが、私が特にお世話になったのは図書館と院生向けの寮にある開放スペースです。このスペースではコースメイトとグループワークをするのはもちろん、博士課程の学生の研究発表を聞いたり、ハロウィンやクリスマスのイベントに参加したり、卓球、ダーツ、ビリヤードをして他の専攻の方々と交流を深めたりしました。Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. 学部時代は同年代の学生ばかりでしたが、修士では様々なバックグラウンドを持ったいろいろな年代の方と同じ学生として一緒に過ごしたことがやはりとてもいい経験になりました。学部卒の同年代の人もいれば、10年以上教鞭をとってスキルアップのために来ている人、教育省に勤めていて、自分の国の教育を良くするために学びに来ている人など、本当にいろんなバックグラウンドを持つメンバーで構成されていました。先生との距離も非常に近いので、みんなで一緒に対等な立場で理論についても実践についても意見を交わすという経験をし、様々な観点から英語教育などを考えることができました。続いてアカデミックタイムとフリータイムをどう過ごしていたかについてです。アカデミックイヤーは3学期プラス夏休みで構成されています。1学期は10週間で最初の2学期はそれぞれ3科目もしくは4科目授業を履修して、その後3学期と夏休みで修論を執筆します。授業期間中の平日は週に一度バスで15分程度のシティセンターで買い物をする以外は予習復習に集中するために自室や図書館で過ごすことが多かったです。それ以外にはソサエティという日本のサークルのようなものが充実していて、修士や博士の学生も普通に参加できるので、コース外の人と関わるという観点からも興味のあるイベントには顔を出していました。私はベイキングソサエティに入っていたので、週に一度お菓子を焼いたり、ジャパニーズソサエティに入って役員として活動していたので、日本に興味のある学生と関わる機会がたくさんありました。学期の間には1ヶ月程度の休みがありますが、休み明けに計7500語程度の課題があるので、ずっと遊んでられるわけではありません。ですが、せっかく1年間の留学なので、いろんな場所に行きたいなと思って泊まりがけでちょっと足を伸ばして旅行していました。ランカスターは結構電車での各地へのアクセスが良くて、一番近い都会としてはマンチェスターまで電車で1時間かからず、ロンドンやエジンバラにも3時間かからずに1本で着きます。 Next slide, please. Thank you. 最も好きだったモジュールと印象に残ったことについてです。どの授業もとても面白かったのですが、先ほど先生方からご紹介がなかったものの中だと、Using Corpora in Language Teaching という科目が大規模言語データベースを日常の授業にどう組み込むかということを学べただけでなく、自分が指導するコンテキストの中だと何ができて何をするのが難しそうかということを深く考えられました。また、履修人数が6人と少なかったので、疑問点をすぐに先生に投げられて、そこからクラスのディスカッションに派生するというのも印象的でした。私のコースは17名と小規模で必修科目が多かったので、コースメイトと過ごす時間が長かったです。1年間で修士を終えるというと、すべてがぎゅっと詰まっていて、楽しい反面、結構大変なことが多かったのですが、人数が少ないからこそ頻繁に集まって授業の愚痴を言って課題の内容を確認して抱えている問題を相談してなどなどみんなで支え合ってみんなで1年をサバイブできたのが1年間を通して最も良かったことでした。はい。まだまだ学生生活についてイメージが湧ききらないところもあるかとは思いますが、私からは以上となります。最後に質疑応答の時間もありますので、その時にマイクをオンにして質問してくださってもいいですし、先生が話している途中でもどんどんチャットに質問を書いてくだされば回答いたします。ありがとうございました。Okay, back to you, Oksana.
Thank you very much, Ayaka. I'm sure that was very informative and helpful to our prospective students. So let me go back to the slides. Okay, so if you really like what you have heard about today, about our university and about our department, what are the entry requirements for you to join us? So the academic requirements are you need to have an equivalent of a 2-1 degree, so second class, upper level second class degree on using the UK sort of system, or equivalent. So you'll be able to find out what the specific requirements are for your country by following this link. But obviously, I understand that the link is on this screen and not necessarily readily available to you. But if you go to our programs, or your agents might be able to help you with accessing that information, or you can always email me. You will have my email address at the end of this presentation. And I can help you with that. So in terms of English language requirements, we accept a wide variety of tests. Generally speaking, IELTS is the most common one. So we would require you to have at least 6.5 overall on your IELTS test, with at least 6.5 in reading and writing, and at least 6 in listening and speaking. If you don't meet this requirement, and if you miss out on it just by half a score or a score, you will be able to join us for a short English for academic purposes pre-sessional courses. So if your IELTS is 6, so if you miss the requirement by half a score, then we will invite you to do a 4-week English for academic purposes course with us. If you miss out the requirement by a score, then we will invite you to do a 10-week pre-sessional course with us. And these courses aim to sort of enhance and advance your skills and knowledge in English language so that we feel confident that you will do well on our programs. So we have got some more information for international students on our departmental webpage. So if you go to www.lancaster.ac.uk/linguistics, you will see the red tab there, and in the middle of it there is information for international students, and there is information about pre-sessional courses, about funding, about fees, about how to apply. But since you're applying through the agent, then that is not your worry really. So and anything else that we think is useful for international students, the information is there, so please feel free to explore. Okay, so if you have questions, and we have got at least one question, so I will start answering this question, and then please feel free to type or to speak up the question later, whichever way the organizers have organized it for you. Okay, so we're coming back to the question about when and how does a MA student select their supervisor. Well, a MA student does not select the supervisor. A MA student selects the topic in which they want to do research, and then we will try to match the topic to the supervisor, or supervisor to the topic. So this is how it's done. A student might have a preference, and because obviously you're going to take modules with us, so you're going to say, oh, I've been taught by Jonathan, and I really like pragmatics. So I want to do research in pragmatics. Yes, there is a chance that Jonathan will end up being your supervisor. So, but it's not like you come and say, I want this person to supervise me, because we have got lots of students and lots of topics, and we need to make sure that students are fairly allocated to the supervisors, and that supervisors feel confident that they can supervise a particular topic. So, yeah.
And that question is also says when.
Oh.
And this happens halfway through the academic year, roughly speaking, sort of February, March, you're beginning to make decisions, so that by the beginning of the third term, in other words, more or less now April, May, everything is sorted out, you have a supervisor, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, so students, basically the supervision process starts when you submit your coursework at the end of term 2. So as I said, we've just literally started term 3, and students have been informed about their supervisor around a week ago who their supervisor is going to be. But students have been working on their dissertation proposals before then, because we needed to have brief dissertation proposals to give us an idea. So we have got another question. How many Japanese students are there, and how many of them do choose job in UK or other countries than Japan? Okay, well, the number of Japanese students depends year on year. So in some years we have got fewer Japanese students. Generally, we don't have it's not like the half of a cohort is going to be Japanese students. We have got several Japanese students, a couple of Japanese students, depending on year, but which is a great thing, really, because you get an opportunity to meet lots of other students from other cultures and countries, and I suppose that's what you would like to do if you want to study abroad. Yeah, in different years we have got different sort of numbers of Japanese students, but we are always very happy to welcome more Japanese students, because you are fantastic. Okay, so how many of them choose to work in the UK or other countries than Japan? I can't really answer this question because I don't know, but our career people will be able to answer that question, if you ask them when they deliver a session to you. So because they might have this data on this topic. Maybe Ayako knows, I don't know. Ayako, do you know? No, okay. Yeah, well, Ayako is our student, but Ayako decided, to return back to Japan and work in Japan. Yeah, you're very welcome. So while we're waiting for more questions, I just want to draw your attention to that yellow box on this screen with my email address. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I will be able to answer them. You can actually ask question in Japanese if you want, and Ayako can translate it. Or answer it in Japanese, because Ayako knows a lot about our programs. Okay, if you don't have any more questions, then we would like to thank you for coming and staying with us today, and for your attention. We really hope that you will find the place where you want to study. We really hope that you enjoy your master's level studies, and wishing you a really good day. Good evening. Thanks for coming. Bye. Thank you so much, Ayako. I'll be in touch by email. Thanks for joining us.
本日はご参加いただきましてありがとうございました。こちらで締め合いになります。Okay, thank you, Oksana and Ayako-san. Thank you very much.